Just wanted to take this time to talk about some subjects that I come across a lot, actually, within sessions and dealing with multiple different types of careers, people, every situation from my clients that are, judges, lawyers, police officers, frontline workers, to kids, to teens, to mothers and fathers. And so what I've noticed from 25 years of doing this is that there's a pattern of dealing with acceptance of the experience of what is. Now, when I say that, is like nobody books a session with me unless there's something going on, right? Nobody comes to me when they're happy. So what I find, and I notice a lot of times, yes, it's obviously in the throes of something that's crazy, or there's a whirlwind, or a scenario of like a storm brewing, and so on and so forth. But life is a process of holding on and letting go. So there's always these ebbs and flows, right? And so a lot of times when we go through the process of the storm, a lot of times we get into a state of panic, we get into a state of fight or flight or survival mode, right? A lot of times this happens when we're in a crisis or in a state of desperation, but we're looking for inspiration, right? Or looking for the the safety net, or the rope, or the life-saving preserver, somebody to throw us a line to save us, right? And I try and help and assist a lot of people, and I do this with my own self, is that there's nobody's going to come save you. Your life is 100% your responsibility. So when we go through these ups and downs, or these ebbs and flows, or when the scenarios seem to be really crazy, really chaotic, or where it just feels like we're either going to sink and we can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, obviously we get into a state of prayer. A lot of times, we're screaming at the top of our lungs, come save me now, that type of a thing. But when we do pray, or when you do talk out loud, you do have a team, I can tell you that. There is energies in non-physical form that are around you, that are helping and assisting you, that are there to provide guidance. Now, you're never going to get like a lightning bolt come out of the sky, or big wow factor scenarios. Now, sometimes you'll get the slightest little, nudge. Okay, so a lot of times it's whispers in the mind, like you'll get a thought or a feeling, or the guidance that you're looking for, which is basically your own internal dialogue. 90% of the time, it's on your own intuition, and so the if you want to talk about God, source, your guides, energies that are around you, they can't physically move you. So you're playing the game, you're on the board, you're the one that actually has to go through the storm. And so they don't want to go through the storm. That's why they're not in form, okay? They are in non-physical form, and they are there to help and assist you. So that's why I put these videos up about guides and higher self and so on and so forth, that you don't need to go outside of yourself, you need to go inside. So when you hit those walls, or hit those breaks, or hit those times of need or desperation, and you're looking for inspiration, just sit still, okay? Give yourself 5 or 10 minutes and just connect to yourself, okay? So a lot of times when we get into the panic mode, we can't breathe, right? So we're doing this shallow breathing. Breath is very key. It's your life force, your chi, your prana. So you want to breathe in and just take a deep breath, and then breathe out. So you're just basically starting to calm the life force and chi, right? So you start to just breathe in. You start to exhale, and you start to feel more balanced and more calm in the middle of the storm. Okay, now you got to be realistic. Yes, there's going to be stuff that's going to trigger you, throw you off balance, and things that are going to come out of the blue. And typically, a lot of times when I try and help people, is that a lot of this is in cycles. So if you're having, arguments with a loved one, or you're in a toxic relationship and you're trying to release, or you're struggling with an addiction, or you're trying to, better yourself or move forward, or get into a space of where you're wanting more out of your experience, you have to release the old to get into the new. Change only comes when you actually physically make a change something. It could be as simple as changing your routine. So if you get up and you do this and you do that, and you do certain things repetitively on the same cycle, start to change that cycle, and then things will start to change around you. Now, when you're using the prayer or meditation exercise, prayer is the form of asking, meditation is a form of listening. So you ask, and then it'll be given. Now, I do this with a lot of clients where I give them that simple exercise, and you start to set the tone for the day. So if you can do that, what you're doing is you're actually acknowledging and telling the universe, show me what I need to see to get out of this freaking storm. I need guidance. And then you'll get the thoughts, the words, the feelings, the ideas, because they can't physically move you unless you ask. So when you're in that space and you're spinning with the top, and a lot of times, we gravitate towards things that are more pacifiers. We drink too much, smoke weed, do this, do that, or we gravitate towards a toxic relationship that becomes very codependent because we don't want to play the game. We want others to play the game. And that's even with me. When people come to me, I'll cut them off if I can see that all they're doing is gathering information, but they're not really taking the initiative to become that information. And so when you're looking at readers or psychics or people or advisors, that's all I am, is basically, I don't like to label myself a psychic or medium. I'm just intuitively feeling my interpretation of what I'm getting, and it's just a timeline. So if I'm feeling something and saying, okay, this is probably where you want to go, or what you want to try, or what you want to look at, well, you still got to take that information and then you chew on it, meditate on it, and then see if you get the same thing. And then that's probably the choice, because it's all about free will and choice. But this place does run on wants, needs, desires, and addictions. And when the addictions take over, that's when you really feel in that state of desperation, because you're not paying attention, because you're in a space that basically runs on that. So there's a lot of things going on here that are basically more or less against the balance. A lot of it is to throw you off balance on purpose. And so if you're able to manage that frequency and just watch and monitor and do energetic maintenance, that's why I throw up those videos, is to show different tricks and tips on how to maintain balance, because you don't really want to wait to the last minute or the 11th hour and then you're starting to run around. So you need to basically maintain that balance before, sorry for my French here, I'm going to swear the shit hits the fan, so that you're actually not running on empty fumes, and then you're in that state of desperation, because there are consequences for not making a choice, and not making a choice is still a choice. So I hope that was helpful, and I just figured I'd post this, and thanks for listening.